Ooga booga boo, and it's time for Spell Tier List version 3. This tier list is for the 1v1 classic game mode, and it is based on the higher elo play of the game. F tier. Spells in this tier are just terrible overall, requiring perfect matchups that are rarely seen to be useful, or just densify cards no matter what. Staying at the bottom of F tier is Illuminate. Despite receiving a pretty big cooldown reduction, Illuminate is still garbage. This spell doesn't reveal enough information to be worth the slot, as it doesn't show the enemy's deck, what they are training, or what is even in their garrison. This is key info that is all still hidden from Illuminate. The only deck that can even think of using this spell is Summoning Staff decks, as the card is another light spell that can be spammed to get more Summoning Staff deads. Moving down from the top of F tier to the middle of F tier is Acid Rain. Acid Rain is just a definition of Rock Paper Scissors. It is a super matchup based card, and it needs a matchup where it is not playing against Vault, a Chaos deck, or a deck of Cure Source. If the enemy's deck doesn't have any of those things, sure, the spell is actually quite strong. If they do have any of those things, the spell is legit just burning 150 crystal for fun. Moving down from the bottom of D tier to the middle of F tier is Summoner's Toll. It is just the exact same thing as Acid Rain, except the perfect matchup it requires is the enemy having many spells and being heavily reliant on them. If the enemy is playing no spells, this card is actually completely useless. It does nothing. If they're playing one spell, you are spending the entire game trying to keep track of that one spell's cooldown so you can try and time it, or even then it is still a little bit useless. Sure, the card did get a buff, so it is harder for your enemy to notice when you cast a spell, but it did not fix the insane matchup requirement for this card. The only reason why it is a bit higher than Acid Rain is because the card heavily counters Archidon spam that uses Magical Guild. Moving down from the bottom C tier to the top of F tier is Double Edge. It is very sad to see this card fall so low, as I love it a lot, but it suffers from the same problem as all other spells in this tier, where it requires a good matchup. The matchups where Double Edge is decent is much higher than other spells in F tier, but it is still weak overall. The cards this spell works with are also not doing that well, either due to them getting a nerf, or them just being weak to splash damage. D tier. Cards in this tier are just much more reliable than cards in the F tier, but are still just weak overall. The main saving grace is that they are much less matchup dependent. Moving down from the middle C tier to the bottom D tier is Minor Hustle. Minor Hustle is just not worth the deck slot for the minimal economy boost it provides to the early and middle game. This is also because it only increases the rate of how fast your miners gather resources rather than generate them out of thin air, which is very common in this current meta, which also makes it hard for this spell to compete with. Moving down from the middle of B tier to the top of D tier is Scorch. Scorch has the exact same flaws as Acid Rain, but its spammy nature alongside the fast cast time allow you to catch enemy swarms off guard at times, and sometimes even change the tide of the game. C tier. Spells in this tier just meh overall, usually just lacking enough strength to be in higher tiers. Moving down from the top of A tier to the bottom of C tier is Healing Ward. The spell's healing power is quite low, which has always made it so it can only be used with squishy units, but those same squishy units are now always used with Myrics due to how flexible the Myric is. Heal Ward's healing on tank units is non-existent, and there is no need for a Cure Source in a lot of Vault decks, which just overall all of these factors just really hurt Healing Ward. Moving down from the top of C tier to the middle of C tier is Lightning Storm. Storm is still a great early game spell, but it does not scale very well into the late game unless you bring Botanic cards, in which those decks usually need a support spell rather than a pure damage spell that lacks its late game power. Moving up from the top of D tier to the top of C tier is Tesla Coil. Tesla Coil is just a great index that utilizes its support power of maintaining space very well, alongside its strength in combination with Voltaic cards, which allow you to do massive amounts of damage. Not to mention, it is also a great tower staller. B tier. Spells in this tier are just overall balanced spells that have a role and do it properly, but they usually lack the flexibility or strength to go into the higher ranks. Moving down from the bottom of A tier to the only card in B tier is Heavy Healing Wisp. Wisp just gets his job done alright, and that is it. It can help a lot in the early to middle game in shaping your front lines, and the spell works amazingly well with heavy generals like Atreus, who are doing very well in the meta right now. A tier! Spells in this tier are overall just very flexible, very strong, very reliable, and just amazing. Only reason why they are not S tier is because of how damn strong the spells in S tier are. Moving up from the bottom of B tier to the bottom of A tier is Surge. Surge is just damn strong with slow effects right now. This spell makes Glacial Fletching painful to push against, and makes Spearow's Deep Freeze actually deep freeze the enemy. Its power with damage over time effects is just alright, and pales in comparison to how strong it is with Glacial Effects, which by the way, Glacial Effects are just great against the meta generals right now. Moving up from the top of B tier to the middle of A tier is Rage. Rage is a good, old, reliable spell. Its short cooldown and cheap costs allow it to be insanely flexible. Its attack speed boost is very strong on units that are good in the meta, like Shadow Laugh, and its speed boost lets you retreat with ease against meta generals and another key spell that's really high up. Rage is just great. Moving down from the bottom of S tier to the top of A tier is Projectile Barrier. The spell is still amazing at both attacking and defending, but the amount of projectiles in the meta has fallen a lot. There are some matchups where the only thing you want to block with the Projectile Barrier is the Castle Militia, which, don't get me wrong, is still very strong in constant pressuring, but the spell is just less useful as it used to be. S tier. Spells in this tier are just stupidly strong, reliable, flexible, and it's your go-to spells that are always amazing. Staying in S tier, and now the only spell in S tier, we have Snow Squall. This spell is just a definition of flexibility. Its defensive power shuts down entire pushes with ease. Its offensive power makes it a breeze to wipe out enemy backlines, and its size lets you cut off retreats from the enemies to control space. It is just an amazingly strong spell due to how much it slows at maximum strength and how much it is needed spell to deal with all those clumped up units, such as melee decks have a lot of those clumped up units. Overall, spells in Stickball Saga are not doing that well in comparison to any other categories in this current meta. So many spells are just overshadowed by generals, enchantments, and units, either because the spells themselves are too weak, or these other cards are way too strong. The amount of deck variety with spells has definitely decreased overall. Don't forget to like and subscribe to keep supporting this content being made.